Even if you love what you do and you create a business from that, you can start to hate it. Ask me how I know. So don't be like me. It's no surprise that you're thinking about transitioning from the 9 to 5 into being self-employed full time. It's a huge opportunity to be financially independent and doing things on your own terms, but it comes with a lot of challenges too. And I want to talk about that in today's video. Welcome back to the channel. I am Keisha Andrea, your favorite brand and content strategist. Before we get into it, this channel is created for creative, solo, and multipreneurs that are looking to build wealth with their gifts. So if you resonate with that, make sure you subscribe to the channel. So I talked about in this video how making the decision to become full-time was one of the best decisions that I've made. And I talked about some of the things that I wish I didn't do, because when I did it, I just quit in the spare of the moment, and I still don't regret it. But if I had to go back, there would be some things that I would most likely change. So you might want to stick around if you're interested in transitioning from the 9 to 5 into being a business owner full time. First things first, I want to make it very clear that if you're going to leave a 9 to 5, something that you probably don't enjoy, then you have to come into business doing something that you love. Don't just go into business just because you want to make money, and you're going to end up being burnt out or not happy about that, and you'll be in the same position trying to figure out how you can get out of that situation. So if you're going to transition from the 9 to 5 into being full-time in business, I highly recommend you do something that you're passionate about. And if you're interested in that, you can check out this video where I talk about finding your ikigai and turning your passion into profit. I wouldn't say that you necessarily need this full, long, drawn out business plan, but as a person who loves order and who loves function, and I know how valuable it is, you need a plan. How much money do you need to make? What are the costs of your bills? What are the costs of your business expenses? How much money do you need to make for your personal needs? What kind of products are you going to offer? How much are those products going to cost? How many of those products you need to sell? What's going to be the plan to sell those products? Are you going to partner with people? Are you going to create more content? Are you going to host workshops? Are you going to pitch yourself to be a guest on somebody's podcast or speak at somebody's event? Are you going to do local vending? Are you going to send out mailers? You need to have an idea of how you're going to meet that goal every month. It's not just enough to say, this is my goal. You need to take it a little bit further and make it actionable. And if you know about SMART goals, then you're probably already familiar with this. But you need to make it actionable and attainable and realistic so you can actually achieve that goal. And while you're in that 9 to 5 right now, you can start doing that, making those connections that you need to make, creating those offers. So when you're full time, those offers are already ready, because that's the process, building out those offers. Something that I wish I did, because as a business owner, the sales are pretty unpredictable. So you could make $1,500 this week, you can make $100 the next week, you can make $0 the next week, and then back to making $1,500 the week after that. Being that it's so unpredictable, and you most likely have expenses that you're gonna need to keep your business running or give your customers the best experiences, whatever systems, tools, and platforms that you're using, I highly recommend buying those one-time platforms or paying those expenses up for the year. While you're in your 9 to 5, you could be saving your money or putting a little bit towards some of those business expenses. For instance, if you have this payment processor that you want to use, for instance, ThriveCard, I'll just throw that out there. ThriveCard costs a few $100s. So you can start putting a little bit of money towards that, or your email program. If you're having a membership, pay that for a year and all your business expenses. That's going to save you a big headache. So every single month, you won't be worried about how you're going to pay these expenses. And so you also don't lack on your customer experience. And while we're talking about some of the expenses, you can also start looking at some of the things that are free that aren't going to cost you a lot, or you can make one-time payments, which is why I created my Notion dashboard, because that Notion dashboard, I put a lot of my courses and a lot of my digital products in there. And Notion is something free that I create for myself. If you're interested in building out your digital product or a course of some sort, I'll leave that down in the description and you can take advantage of that offer. And it's so easy as a business owner to feel like you have to do this alone. Most of the time you get in that space because not a lot of people are doing this. I know for me, that's my experience, that there isn't a lot of people that are doing this full time. So it gets pretty lonely, but you have to be very adamant about going and seeking out that community and finding that community, because you're going to need them. You cannot walk this walk alone. You should be looking for like-minded people, business owners that you can co-work with or network with. Go to networking events and create the community so you can be supported on this journey. Another thing that's really, really important, if you already have offers that you're thinking about putting out there or that you've already put out there, then you need to be testing out some of these offers. Even if you have to offer a little bit for free, you're going to need testimonials. You're going to need feedback about that offer so you can make it better for people going forward. And I'll use myself as an example. So I have this group workshop, Attract, Align, Convert, that happens every single quarter. What I realized in the first workshop is that I needed to do a couple of things to make this experience a lot better. And thankfully, I did offer that at a lower rate and explain that to the people that joined that workshop. So they got something out of it and I got something out of it by getting a little feedback. And then I make the adjustments to that offer going forward. But what I was doing is hopping on the calls, going over my presentations, and then talking to everybody in the workshop about that presentation and working on the content. But most of the time on the Zoom call was spent going over that presentation. So what I did going forward, put all of that educational information into a course instead. They can go over the educational content on their own time. And then once we get on the call, we can focus on implementing and taking action. So you might find when you're creating your offer that there are going to be a few things that you're going to need to change. So you're going to need to test out this offer, whether you offer it for free or you offer it for a low price, just so you can get a feel for some of the places that people are struggling with, how you can change your offers to help people that might be struggling with that same thing going forward. All of your offers need to be tested if you're going to be going full time and you want your business to be sustainable. You want to make sure that all of your customers are going to be satisfied. Testing out your offers by offering it for free or for a low price will also help you if you've already been putting this offer out there and nobody's buying. Maybe you can just reduce the risk for other people and get what you need and also give them what they need. So then you can start selling that at the original price. Something that I'm learning is that you can never assume that this one thing is going to work the whole time that you're in business. So I started off with my photography business using SEO on my website. That's where I got most of my clients. So I wasn't on social media and utilizing social media or any other avenues for that matter. When the SEO referrals that came from my website started slowing down, I was frantic. I'm like, hold on, where are these customers? I need more customers. And I wish that I had been working other avenues like creating content all the time or collaborating with other people so I didn't have to worry about that. And this brings me to my next point. You don't have to utilize social media, but it's free. Why not utilize social media? Pick one or two platforms, one long form platform or one short form platform. I highly recommend YouTube, and put a bunch of content out there that's going to attract your dream client. It has to be valuable. It has to show your experiences and your expertise and show a little behind the scenes of how you do what you do. At the same time, answer some of their questions, talk about some of the things that your audience is going through. Always have this funnel of people coming in. This is essentially the attraction marketing model. With attraction marketing, you're given a little to get back a little, whether you're collecting their email to continue to build a relationship in their email, whether they go and buy something and work with you. You're giving them this content that in return, you're going to get something back from it. This is what that workshop that I talked about, Attract, Align, and Convert, is all about. I will if I have to, but I want everything in my business to be in a flow. I don't want to feel like I have to hunt down people for money. A lot of people don't really believe in giving a lot of their information for free. They want to put a price on it. I operate in a state of abundance, just going by the universal law of reciprocity. You give and you get back. So I don't complain about creating content. I know that this is my service and my offering, and I know for that offering, I'm going to be taken care of as well. If you're looking to transition full time, I highly consider creating content in the same way. Serve, and then sell. And this is how you not only get customers, you attract your dream clients and you convert them into being longtime customers and actually building a relationship with them. If you're going into business, it can't just be about the money. You have to want to build real relationships with people because these are real people that are going to be buying your offers. And Attract, Align, and Convert happens every quarter. If you want to join us and create magnetizing content that's going to keep a consistent flow of people in your community that turns these dream clients into paying customers, then come on and join us and create 12 weeks of content in Attract, Align, Convert. That's going to be in the description. This list can honestly go on and on, but I don't want this to be a really long video. So I'm just covering what I feel like is the most important. And lastly, because you know that I'm always going to be talking about making sure that you're not sacrificing your well-being. So when you're a full-time business owner, you might get into this habit of working in and on your business all day, every day, because you don't have another job to go to. So before you step into this full-time, for me, I like to sit in that feeling of how I want my life to feel. From that feeling, I start taking those steps to create a life around those feelings. I recommend the same for anybody that's going into business full time. Make self-care a priority. And self-care could simply just make sure that you have rest scheduled every day. You set boundaries. You're only working for a certain amount of time, or you have one day a week that you do this to take care of yourself, or if you have children or friends and family, making sure you have a certain amount of days out the week or out the month, creating some kind of routine, reminding yourself of that. If you have to get a whiteboard, if you have to put it on your wallpaper of your computer or your phone, remind yourself of this, because your business can quickly turn into the 9-to-5 hustle if you don't keep this in mind and make that a priority and just doing things for fun. If you are a creative and there are some things that you love to do and you're passionate about, reserve some time just to do that for fun. And I say this as a last point because I feel like it's the most important. Even if you love what you do now and you create a business from that, you can start to hate it if you do not set aside some time just for you to do something for fun. Ask me how I know. So don't be like me. Take notes and make sure you reserve some self-care time and do some of those things just for fun, or you are going to hate it just as much as you hate that 9 to 5 right now. And that's pretty much everything that I have and what I feel works for me to make sure that it feels good to be in business full time and it doesn't just become another hustle. So hopefully this message did reach whoever it needed to reach. Let me know down in the comments your thoughts and if you're thinking about transitioning into being a business owner full time. As always, I appreciate you all for watching. I am Keisha Andrea, your favorite brand and content strategist. I'll see y'all on the feed. I love y'all. Happy creating.